It is estimated that within 10 years, a full quarter of the Canadian population will be over 65 years of age. This means that nurses will increasingly be involved in the health care of this population. Whether nurses encounter older adults in hospitals, homes, or long-term care institutions, spirituality is deemed by many to be an inevitable topic to explore with these clients. Gerontological nursing is identified by many nurse leaders as one of the clinical areas which fosters the integration of spirituality into nursing practice. This program explores spiritual care of the older adult. I would like you to meet two clients who will enable you to better understand the place of spirituality in the older adult's life. Ada is 96 years old and is a resident in a long-term care institution. Albert is 85 and lives at home with his wife Colleen. Ada grew up in a religious family in a small community on the coast of Newfoundland. In 1928, she was one of the first graduates from the nursing program at the Grace General Hospital. She married and had 3 children, all of whom are of great support to her at this point in her life. Throughout her life, Ada has been very active in her church, for years in a leadership role as a Salvation Army officer. Ada is no longer able to attend her church and spends most of her time at the long-term care facility. She misses her church involvement, but prayer, reading scripture, and attending chapel in the institution are identified by her to be critical in nurturing her spirituality.
I never miss prayer meetings. When I was able, I'd go every Tuesday noon at the temple. Now I can't go. I'm not able since I've got older. That's the one thing I really, really miss is, prayer meetings.
In addition to religious practices nurturing her spirit, Ada's creative works are also important. She is especially well known for her tatting, a form of lace making, which she has been doing for over 70 years. Ada takes great delight in giving her tatted creations to others, providing a sense of meaning and purpose for her. Ada's children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren fulfill her need for love and relatedness, and she loves to talk about them. They visit her often. Ada's source of hope for the future is connected to her belief that she will go to heaven. She does not fear death, and indeed looks forward to the time when she will be with God. Albert grew up in Montreal, Quebec. He served in World War II and for several years drove a taxi in the city of Montreal. Albert did not grow up in a religious family, but in his early 40s he had a spiritual experience which changed his life. Since that time, Albert has been active in his church and was involved in full-time ministry within the prison system for a number of years. As he has gotten older, Albert struggles with loss.
Well, you aren't able to do things that you did before. That's one of the most difficult things, to adjust yourself to your inability to do things. And your memory starts to play tricks on you. You forget things. That's some of the difficult, your memory. But all my friends are gone. Like my parents and friends and that. I don't think I have any friends left from the past.
In spite of not being able to do as much as he used to, Albert finds fulfillment in his increasing competence in computer skills. His faith continues to provide meaning and purpose in his life, as does his family.
Prayer and reading the scripture is a large part of my life, really, because it gives me meaning to my life. That's the real meaning and a purpose to to not just live and know you're going to die sometime, and you know that when you die you're going to be with the Lord, and there's a purpose in your living, real purpose, yeah.
Through Ada and Albert, we see that spirituality is nurtured through creative works, meaningful activities, family relationships, music, religious faith, and activities associated with that faith. Religion in particular has been noted in research studies to be important in the lives of older adults, having positive effects on their physical, emotional, social, and spiritual health. Not all older adults will be connected to a religious ideology. However, it is important to remember that they are still spiritual beings who express their spirituality in ways other than through religion.
For those who are not affiliated with any formal religious group, quite often they will find meaning and purpose in being able to be with members of the family, being able to relate to people that have been part of their workforce in the past, so friends or co-workers, or being able to go to a special place, a place that has been special for them, perhaps where they were raised as children or whatever. So there are ways in which they express various needs, and sometimes it's just a setting. They like to surround themselves with certain things in their rooms. A faith-oriented person may want religious symbols. A person who doesn't affiliate with any faith may want other things. Fresh flowers, or certain pictures, or books that are familiar to them, or music especially. So there's certain ways in which a person will nurture themselves spiritually outside of the formal religious groups.
Through expression of spirituality, spiritual needs may be met. The need for meaning and purpose, love and relatedness, hope, and so on. Professionals who work with older adults identify such needs.
Many of the spiritual needs and issues that I experience with the older adult are issues around meaning and purpose and hope, issues around finding some sense of meaning in their suffering, issues around being able to transcend the challenges that they face around many of the losses that they are experiencing, many of the changes that they have to experience that really threaten their independence, their whole sense of self and self-worth. Also around issues of unconditional love, forgiveness, and being able to forgive.
You wouldn't leave me for the world now, would you?
Would.
No, you wouldn't, Maggie.
I'd have to.
Some of the illnesses that they run into and some of the health changes that they run into are actually the end stages in their life, so they're preparing for and facing dying. There's a significant number of people who are in that particular phase of their life's journey, and that has some very serious, significant ramifications for them spiritually, especially when they look at family situations, their own home environment, friends, what they've done through their life that they found to be meaningful and purposeful, whether it be work-related or recreation-related or leisure-related. And that network, that web of life, when you face the end stages of your life, brings to mind some very deep questions that indeed involve God, if they are related to a faith group that believes in God, and if not, the whole issues of what